さあ、行こう。はい、パパ。
This is it. The right moment. Making love to you was never second best. I saw the world crashing around your face.
Alright, so those of you who saw a video I made more than half a year ago explaining how much I hated Sword Art Online might be a little confused with this video right now. And let me tell you that I am just as confused as you are. But it isn't a bad confusion. I'm actually more happy with the results of watching Sword Art Online too. I came into it so that I would have more material to rant upon, but I ended up having too much stuff to praise about it. So, on with the praising. But remember, spoilers ahead. Now, because I love to rant, I'll start this off by talking about a few things that Sword Art Online 2 didn't change from the original. The first and most important is that they had another villain rape another female. It's something the first time, but in the second and third time, it gets a little creepy and unwanted. We don't need rape to hate the villain. He's evil. He wants to kill her. We hate him enough. We don't need rape to be a repeated theme for the villains in this show. Rape can become a trigger for some people, and people, including myself, think that the creator of Sword Art Online might have a rape fetish.
It's creepy.
Another bad thing that carried over from the original series was the pacing and overuse of exposition of some episodes. There was a couple of instances in the show where some episodes were dedicated to just having straightforward exposition throughout the entire episode. And it's so slow. Two examples of this was in the first arc, with explaining parts of the villain's motivations and the plan to beat him, which of course is necessary, but the pacing is slow and some shots just came out of nowhere and for no reason. The second example is in the second arc, when the show explains Yuki's disease to Asuna and the audience. The entire episode is just an exposition of the tragedy of this character. It's just an onslaught of sadness after sadness, which doesn't bring any emotion, it's just explaining things.
It's so boring. Damn it, wait!
But with that out of the way, let me completely change gears and melt over some of Sword Art Online 2's brilliance. If you see my previous Sword Art Online video, then you remember how much I hated the female protagonists in the show and how horrible their characters were. I mean, let's just look at them again. Asuna went from a badass to a dependent on her boyfriend Tsurude. Elizabeth was a forgotten character whose motivation was being in love with Kirito. There's Sirika, who honestly just exists for the lowly character fans. And these two girls, whose names I can't remember / don't feel like looking up. And then of course we have Leafa, whose relationship with Kirito was... you know it's coming.
Tell me, how was I supposed to know we were both related? Believe me, if I knew she was my cousin, we never would have dated. What to do now? Should I go ahead and propose and get hitched and have kids with 11 toes and move to Alabama where that kind of thing is tolerated? No, 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 no.
So come on, Sword Art Online. Can't you have a female protagonist that can have her own character without the help of Kirito? I don't care if you say that she might like Kirito. I don't care if you say that she wouldn't have changed if it wasn't for Kirito. Sinon is the best female character in this entire franchise. She's strong but shy at sometimes, and she has an amazing backstory. Amazing as in amazingly tragic, and as cute as a goddamn button. Some of my favorite moments in the show is the scenes which exhibit how awesome she is, with my favorite moment being...
お土産グレネード。何それ？
But it doesn't stop there. The third arc has another amazing female protagonist in the form of Yuki. Yuki is also badass, funny, ambitious, and brings the emotions for the rest of the show. Since Asuna is the main character for the second half of the show, Yuki is allowed to interact with a different character and form her own character with someone that isn't Kirito, unlike all of the other girls. But let's not forget the MVP of Sword Art Online 2, Asuna herself. She is now officially one of my favorite characters of this show, and I am glad to see her there.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me. You're not going anywhere.
It seems that even Asuna herself realized how horrible of a character she was and decided to make a change of it. Her character was transformed into her awesome self, but there is still more to her character than that. We get more of a history of her and her overbearing mother that was hinted at in the original season. Her mother doesn't want her in the virtual world anymore, even though it's where Asuna feels like she belongs, and Asuna doesn't have enough confidence to argue with her mother. However, due to some learning that she experiences throughout the rest of the show, she is able to convince her mother of her future plans in her own way. That scene with Asuna and her mother in the cabin in the game almost brought me to tears. There was just some great stuff put into that scene, and it really paid off. Thank you, Sword Online 2. Thank you for making Asuna a better character.